Hi, I'm Donna Wimberly, LCSW with Southern Therapeutic Services. I wanted to talk to you today about anxiety in children. As school is just getting started, I've had lots of parents ask how to deal with those anxieties of going to school, getting on the school bus, those stomach aches that just occur right when it's time to go to school in the morning, and those things that kind of get us off to a rough start. So I wanted to put all the information here and hopefully make your life a little bit easier in your morning a little less stressful, as you may have a child with a little bit of anxiety. Um, the truth is that there's many children who have true anxiety about situations, and a lot of times as parents, we may say, oh, it's just first day jitters, it'll get better. But for some children, they truly do have anxiety, whether it's about being in social settings, having a new teacher, being in a new classroom, or maybe even at a new school. So those are all things that really create a lot of anxiety for some children. So, and in a way to kind of decide if your child has anxiety or if it's just them not wanting to go to school and would rather stay home and play, there's a research that was done by the University of British Columbia, and they said that there were two questions that you could ask yourself about your children to determine if they may have some true anxiety. Those two questions are: number one, is your child more shy or anxious than other children his or her own age? And is your child more worried than other children his or her age? If you can answer yes to those questions, then there probably is some true underlying anxiety there. Yes, that's a very brief way of evaluating for anxiety, but it kind of helps you to determine if your child would just rather stay at home and play, or if there's some anxiety about being in social settings, whatever that may be. So there's a few things that you can do to help your children with anxiety. Um, One of those most important things you can do is acknowledge their anxiety. A lot of times we want to say, no, we don't have monsters at our house, that's silly, nothing's going to get you. But as a child who has some anxieties, those really are true concerns. They may really be scared of the weather. So by saying, oh, nothing's going to get you, doesn't help them to understand their own emotions. So give them a chance to say that they're scared of something or they're worried about something, and allow them to, to be able to have those emotions and acknowledge that those are true feelings. They almost have a little bit of relief just in knowing that it's okay to have that feeling. Another thing is to help them learn to express their feelings. We often will say, don't talk about that, or don't worry about that, or don't say that. And it's really better to let them go ahead and express it and give them some tools to be able to do that. You may allow them to tell you when they start saying they have a tummy ache, to ask them, are they worried about something? Is something scaring them? Was someone mean to them? Is there something that's going on at home that they might be uncomfortable about? So asking some of those questions may help them to open up and feel more comfortable talking to you about it. Then we need to help them learn ways to cope with those emotions, because the reality is that as adults we're going to have some anxiety and some other emotions that aren't always good to feel, but we have those as true emotions. So trying to find some ways to deal with those, and you may recommend that your child take some deep breaths, because clearly when we're anxious we don't always get enough oxygen in there as we kind of breathe more rapidly. So you may want to help them to slow down their breathing so that they can relax and think a little bit more clearly about things. You can also encourage them to maybe play a game, go outside and get some fresh air or exercise, maybe even talk with a friend, or sibling, somebody that they feel comfortable with that can be a support system for them. And the other thing that they could do is maybe draw or write. Um, Sometimes for younger children, they do better with drawing, of course, before they can really put together lots of thoughts in sentence form. So you may want to encourage them to draw a picture of things that make them worried or how they feel when they're worried, so that they can better express it to you, because they may not be able to verbalize those concerns or may not feel comfortable doing it. The other thing is they can draw and write, and it's all for them. They don't have to share it with anybody. But that helps them to express their emotions. So those are a few things that they can do very easily at home, and allow you to figure out a little bit about what's making them more anxious and less interested in going in social settings or school, whether it may be the new teacher and her new rules that have them a little anxious, whatever that may be, it will help you to better deal with it if you know what's going on. So, try to step back a little bit and ask yourself those two questions. Is your child more shy or anxious than other children his or her age? And is your child more worried than other children his or her age? And if you can answer yes to that, then there probably is some true anxiety there. And if you have questions or concerns that are kind of pertinent to just your unique situation with your child, please give us a call or send us an email. I'd love to see if there's any way that I could help answer some questions and make things a little bit easier for you. So you can give us a call at 337-457-3338, or you can visit my website. It's southerntherapeuticservices.com, and there's a contact tab there. You can send me an email and ask any specific questions that you may have, so we could try to make things easier for you, especially in the morning as we get back into the school routine, which can be a little hectic. Otherwise, I wanted to thank you for visiting my site today, and if you have other questions or other topics that you would like to hear about, please let me know so I can make sure to make those available to you. And thank you for visiting. Have a great day. And this is Donna Wimberly, LCSW with Southern Therapeutic Services.